You slept 8 hours. You didn't go out. You canceled the plans. You did nothing all weekend. And Monday morning hits you like a freight train. Your bones feel heavy. Your eyes burn before noon. And you can't explain why. People around you have a word for it. Laziness. Your doctor checks your iron levels. Your family suggests more exercise. Your friends tell you to just push through. But none of them are seeing the real machine. Because neuroscience found something else entirely. Your brain has been running full capacity computations the entire weekend. You just can't see the bill. This isn't fatigue. This is the price of a mind that literally cannot stop processing. And here's why this video matters more than the usual burnout advice. Most content treats exhaustion as a lifestyle problem. Sleep more, eat better, take a vacation. But for a specific type of brain, that advice doesn't just fail. It makes the exhaustion worse. Let me show you what's actually happening under your skull. Imagine 2 laptops in a room. Both look identical from the outside. One is browsing a single web page. The other has 40 tabs open. Background updates running. Antivirus scans firing every minute. Cooling fans screaming at full speed. From across the room, they look the same. But one is melting itself alive. That's your brain. And the research backs this up in ways most people never hear about. Dr. Elaine Aron's work on sensory processing sensitivity. 15 to 20% of the population carries this trait. Their brains process every stimulus more deeply. More neural computations per experience. More cross-references. More layers of meaning extracted from every glance, every word, every silence. The exhaustion is structural. Not personal, not a character flaw. Not weakness. It's wired into the hardware itself. Then there's John Sweller and cognitive load theory. Working memory has a hard capacity limit, a ceiling everyone hits eventually. But deep thinkers don't hit it from one hard task. They hit it from invisible, constant work. Scanning subtext in someone's voice. Modeling what your coworker really meant by that email. Reanalyzing a conversation from 6 years ago. While you're brushing your teeth, your working memory isn't busy. It's flooded. Chronically baseline overloaded before the day even begins. Now here's where it gets darker. Enter Marcus Reichel and the default mode network. There's a region of your brain designed to idle when you rest. Think of it as the engine in neutral. In most people, it powers down between tasks. But in deep thinkers, in ruminators, in the hypersensitive, that region doesn't idle, it revs. The moment you stop working, the DMN switches gears. Self-referential replay mode. Every awkward moment from middle school. Every email you might have sent wrong. Every face that looked at you sideways at the grocery store. Your brain doesn't have an off switch. What you call rest is just a different shift. A shift that costs as much as the workday, sometimes more. And then in 2022, the Paris Brain Institute confirmed something brutal. Wheeler and his team studied intense cognitive work. They found something physical, something measurable. Glutamate buildup in the prefrontal cortex. A chemical waste product that accumulates as you think. When levels climb too high, the brain forces a shutdown. Not out of laziness, out of self-preservation, to prevent toxic damage. Let that land for a second. Mental fatigue isn't a moral failing. It's a neurological protection mechanism. Your brain is literally trying to save you from poisoning itself. But here's the part that breaks most deep thinkers. Standard rest doesn't fix you. You take the weekend off. You lie on the couch. You scroll mindlessly, and you wake up Monday feeling worse. Because unstructured time gets hijacked. The default mode network grabs the wheel and turns your downtime into a processing marathon. Replaying, analyzing, worrying, modeling. A vacation can leave an overthinker more drained than a work week. Read that again. A vacation can drain you more than work. That's why just relax has never worked for you. And it never will. Here's what most videos on this topic miss completely. The fix isn't more rest. The fix is cognitive displacement. Flow states. Absorbed activity. Things that fully occupy your processing channels. So the DMN can't commandeer them for self-attack. Climbing. Painting. Coding. Cooking under time pressure. Anything that demands your full bandwidth. Paradoxically, deep thinkers recover from cognitive activity, not from cognitive emptiness, because emptiness is just an invitation for the DMN to fill it with your own ghosts. Now let's talk about the protocol. I call it the energy ledger, and it changes how you see yourself forever. There are 3 categories of energy you spend every day. Most people only track one. Category 1, surface energy, the physical stuff, lifting boxes, walking to the train, typing emails. Visible to everyone, including yourself. This is the only category most people understand. Category 2, processing energy, analyzing data, planning a project, reading a complex book, partially visible. You can feel this one if you pay attention. It's the headache after a long meeting, the brain fog after writing a hard report. But here's where the deep thinker bleeds out. Category 3, ambient energy, background scanning, picking up subtext, decoding tone, replaying conversations from 3 days ago, modeling what your boss really thinks of you, noticing the tension between two people who haven't said a word, cataloging micro expressions you didn't ask to see. This category is completely invisible, even to you. It runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you want it to or not, and it never sends you an invoice until you collapse. Here's a real scenario. You go to a birthday dinner, 8 people. Surface energy spent? Minimal. You sat in a chair. Processing energy? Light. Small talk. But your ambient energy? Bleeding, tracking the tension between the couple across the table. Noticing the friend who laughed half a second too late. Wondering if your story landed weird. Rehearsing your next sentence 3 sentences ahead. Scanning the waiter's mood. Reading the silence after a joke. 2 hours at a dinner table burns more fuel than a 6-hour workday. And you wonder why you can't get out of bed the next morning. Here's the audit. For the next 48 hours, track your ambient energy. Not what you did, what your brain was quietly processing in the background. Every time you catch yourself running a simulation, decoding a tone, replaying a moment, reading a face. Mark it down. 1 word, 1 tally, 1 note. By the end of 2 days, you'll see something disturbing. You've been running at full RPM while everyone around you thought you were idling. Now hear me clearly. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are running software that costs 5 times more, on a diet designed for a different machine, on a culture built for a different nervous system, on rest protocols engineered for a shallower mind. Once you see the ledger, you stop apologizing for the exhaustion. You start respecting it. You start designing around it. You start protecting your processing channels like an elite operator protects their gear. Because that's what you are, an operator running classified level workloads in civilian clothing. But here's the cruel irony nobody talks about. The same brain draining itself just to exist in a room is the same brain reading everyone else in it perfectly. You know who's uncomfortable. You know who's performing. You know exactly what's not being said. You see the cracks in every smile. You see everything. And somehow, through all of that, nobody sees you back. If you want to understand why you can read a room instantly, but still feel completely invisible in it, watch this video next. I explain exactly what's happening to you.